computer, and my internet was working fine. Everything was working fine. I started making video, and then the internet stopped working. So I'm going to try this on my phone, and hopefully this works. So I wanted to make a video about my bombshell night with the beautiful, amazing, and talented LARA Logan. And I was able to meet up with her last week. She had an event where she spoke at, and I watched her speak and was able to take some pictures with her and talk to her a little bit. And she pretty much laid it all out. I mean, she put forth a lot of information, and it's a lot of really like concerning information. She laid it all out there. So just wanted to make this quick video and try to go through some of the stuff that she went through. First and foremost, and she's also like, she did that interview with Steve Bannon the same day. The day that I saw her speak was the day that the bridge collapsed. And the day that she went on with Steve Bannon and made that video that's going around. So if you haven't seen it from the War Room, I highly recommend you check out her video regarding the bridge collapse. She did share with us as well. She is highly connected. She has been a journalist for over 30 years. She's a war correspondent. She used to live in Iraq for 4 years. She's done things while she was pregnant. She is definitely, her whole life has been committed to telling the truth. And she used to work for CBS and 60 Minutes, and I don't know what happened there, but they probably let her go like they do with a lot of the great people. But she's had an amazing career. And she's a very credible, amazing person. She's the only journalist that I see out there that's talking about the child T-wording and, you know, other stuff like that. She even mentioned adrenochrome and said that it's totally real and happening, and it's a real thing. So, yeah, she went through a lot of information. She went through what I said about the bridge collapse. She has intelligence agencies, sources from all the different intelligence agencies, and they all knew day of that the bridge collapse was a cyber attack. It was a cyber terrorism where the feed, someone hacked into the navigation system for the boat and took over the boat. And she said that any hacker can do that. It's very easy to hack into those systems. Also, I was watching John Claude Beyond Mystics war correspondent with Cliff High last week. And they also showed a clip of her interview, and he also confirmed that he knows that our intelligence knows that the bridge collapse was cyber terrorism. It was a cyber attack, and it's being investigated, and they knew that day of. And it's not just one intelligence agency, all of them know. So why that's not in the media and why the media is still lying about this, I'm not sure. And that's one of the points that she brought up on Steve Bannon's War Room. But she also talked about David Brock. He is someone who came up with Media Matters for America, has been trying to sabotage her career, has spent millions of dollars and wants her dead. He's done all kinds of things to discredit her. So if you just do a quick Google search on LARA Logan, you're going to see all kinds of stuff about how she's far right. And it's all just ridiculous. She's not far right at all. She's just telling the truth that they don't want to be told. She's a spitfire. She's an alpha female, and she will stand head to head with any male. And I love her. Like, she is incredible. She is really amazing. Like I said, I got to meet her and take pictures with her, and I was going to show you the pictures, but I'm not able to share them on my computer now. But if you follow me on Facebook, all of that is posted on my Facebook, Chelsea Lane Colley. But yeah, LARA Logan, great gal, spitfire, laid it all out. And one of the other things that she said, I thought that was interesting about the cyber attack about the bridge. But another thing that she said, that she is very close friends with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson recently interviewed someone that's going to shock you. And this is news here. You heard it here first, people. She said Tucker Carlson recently interviewed Hunter Biden. So yeah, so that's news that's not out yet, but she told us, and there you go. So yeah, after her 60 Minutes, her career blew up. They discredited her when she went down the Benghazi trail and she was starting to report on the Benghazi stuff. They really tried to cancel her. And it's not like she was trying to, find corruption. It's like when you go down when you learn about the Benghazi stuff, that stuff is intense, and it's all very concerning that Hillary would let that happen in Benghazi with SEAL Team 6 and all that. She reported all of that. So they've been trying to discredit her for years. That's David Brock and his attorneys have raised money to attack anything or anyone or attack any attorneys who defend Trump or do not participate in what she refers to as the mass delusion. So, if you don't go along with the go woke thing and, that, children should change their gender and all this stuff, like she calls all of that the mass delusion. And they're trying to make it seem like something's wrong with you if you don't if you don't follow the mass delusion. Or if you don't prescribe to that, believe that, BS, up is up, up is down, down is up type thing, like the way they try to twist things. So she calls that, the mass delusion. They did it with COVID. They're doing it with the gender. Now they're rolling out satanic worship stuff like Baphomet and stuff like that. So, she did mention about the carbon and CO2 being critical for life and plant life on our country, and, doing the whole like climate change BS is just that. It's just BS because we need carbon in order to live, and our plants need carbon in order to live. And the more carbon we have on our planet, the more the plants grow, and the taller the plants grow and everything like that. So yeah, it's absolutely part of the mass delusion. So manifesting a climate change crisis that does not exist. This is ways that they are currently legislating the mass delusion with climate change. Who are some of the people to be blamed? Well, she says teachers, doctors, nurses, the ones that go along with it and just don't fight back. They just push this delusion on the children and on the people, teachers, doctors, nurses, that, educators, that kind of thing. If you quit because of reasons for this and then you don't speak out about it, that's not doing the public any good. We need teachers, doctors, nurses to speak out. The creepy line. They wanted him dead. How Google stole the election. Yeah, it has a lot of election stuff has to do with the algorithms for Google and the search results, and they were able to prove that elections can be stolen with the search results. And also, they have a lot of control, and just because they aren't exercising that control doesn't mean that they don't have the control. So, one of the other things she said, if you think Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, at this point, you're a moron. I love how, blunt she is. So FYI, you don't own your image. They can use your image on all these platforms. You want to practice digital hygiene. She says, you know, being able to protect your images. She said journalists have stopped doing their job. Some of the people that she wants to kick in the nuts more than anybody are these tech guys that program all these algorithms to to take our freedoms away, you know, to spy on us and to take the liberties that we have away. They don't show us the technology, they leave. So she's saying right now, like, they have a phone that like goes on your skin, it like becomes part of your skin, and then it like you press something and it pops up a hologram and you can select things with that. And pretty soon that they're going to be promoting that, you know, that your phone is now part of your body. You know, the journalists and the media are not really reporting the fact that like billion acres of Texas farmland was burned. And it's not even that big of a deal in the news that 1 billion acres of Texas farmland was burned. She said the things that we really need to like focus on and like get clear on, we need to know the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and we need to know the 10 Commandments. She said those 3 documents, if we have those, we know those, we can absolutely embrace our freedom and have everything backed up. Like everything they're doing now is a violation of all of that. So she teaches her kids to be able to spot these things, helps them to be able to prepare themselves, help them to be able to recognize brainwashing in school. We are born free and we will die free. They're making us seem like humanity, being like our humanity is a weakness, but actually our own humanity is our superpower. And the reason that these people get away with this is because like they don't have honor, they don't have integrity, and it doesn't even bother them that they're taking away people's rights. It's important that we all speak up and speak out and inspire people to fight for freedom. She mentioned Hunter Biden's psychologist had one of the best premises behind his practice. He says that the purpose of psychology is to find yourself again, to bring you back to yourself, to find the strength within yourself. So there's something very important about that. Hey, Kearns11. Yep, it's pretty concerning for the young ones out there. We're all pretty concerned, and definitely want to keep them away from those programming, brainwashing institutions. So come back to yourself, come back to your power, come back to your creator. You know, the God that created you is that divine power within you. She said in 1776, when they founded America, the Illuminati founded shortly after in Belgium. They founded the Illuminati because they got upset because America won and they were able to create something that's free. And so at that point, they decided that they would infiltrate everything. So I've often wondered that about George Washington, because George Washington was a Mason. And I've heard that, you know, oh no, George Washington was good, but he was a Mason. So like FYI, like they infiltrated the Masons and every other major secret society and political organization, country, and everything like that. So what they did, she says, in 1776, this is in Bulgaria, not Belgium, Bulgaria. Since they lost in America, what they did was they read the letters of the 13 colonies, and they studied how that they were blindsided. And they decided that they need to infiltrate, most importantly of all, the churches. So they infiltrated the churches. They began doing pagan rituals in seminary schools, and started with the Marxism. Karl Marx was actually paid by the Rothschilds. He was commissioned to come up with the book that lays out the system of total control, Marxism, socialism, communism, all of that. So do they believe in the free market? No. Do they believe in God? No. Do they believe in individual liberty? No. So their plan is to defund the police and police us through our technology. Millie Weaver is someone that she supports. She also, some of the people that she aligns herself with, FYI, General Flynn, she sits on the board of something. I have it written down here somewhere. She sits on one of the boards. I believe it's for America First or something like that. But she sits on the board with General Flynn. So FYI, she has ties with Tucker Carlson and General Flynn. At that point, when we met with her last week, she said that she had not met Trump, and I was super surprised because, like, she's really up there. She's one of the major, the biggest name journalists that really is out there speaking truth, and I was surprised that she hadn't met Trump. But a couple days ago, this weekend actually, they were invited to Mar-a-Lago. So Lara was there. April was there, April was the girl that put on the event in Fredericksburg. April is LARA Logan's assistant. And so, you know, maybe possibly like they'll watch this video, and I have some questions for LARA Logan. So I would love to be able to honor her and welcome her and do an interview with her. So say a prayer for me that we can make that happen. That would be incredible. But she gave so much information. So she says, you know, it's really important to have momentum for change. It's important. Let's see. One of these organizations teach you how to create a movement and then how you can implement that in communities. And they use that for Antifa. She says that a lot of people don't even watch the news anymore. It makes them too nervous. But this is all part of the mass delusion. And someone that she recently spoke with, one of her intelligence sources, says that we're in a race car and the brakes have failed and we're increasing speed. And that's where we're at right now. Like, that was kind of like the main gist of what I got from her speaking for over an hour, was that like it's a dire situation. Someone actually raised their hand because she did allow questions at the end, and then she stayed for an extra like 2 hours after it was over, answering questions and talking to people and stuff like that afterwards. And he was like, what are the chances of Trump winning, you know, this second term? And she's like, well, some people believe that he's president now, but I mean, even if he did, like, she was like, he won the last one and they were in power. Or no, she was like, he won the last one and they weren't in power, but they're gonna have another election and they are in power. So she's saying that like the other side has more power than they had then. So what makes you think that he could win it? So she's like, I'm really hoping for a life raft, that we get thrown a life raft, because if we do and Trump gets in and he can clean house, she was like, he's going to have to clean house really fast. Like, he's going to have to clean it up super fast so that he can get every last person, because if he doesn't, he's a dead man. Like, they will kill him if he does not get them all. So she's like, I don't know. I mean, she doesn't see it happening, you know, Trump getting back into place. I mean, she's very like realistic, but then again, like, if it's great to see you guys. Thank you. I am doing well. It's been hard lately, but getting through it. Thank you guys. So yeah, so she's like, she doesn't really see it, but she, you know, let me see what else is in here. They just want us to stay in the same feedback loop and talk to the same people. Like, they don't want us to break out. Like, disagreement is okay, but Trump is not going to be able to come back unless the people stand up now. We are in a systematic breakdown. She said they have technology that they can see 25,000 feet under the earth, so there is no hiding. She says right now, Pritzker, governor of Illinois, is building transgender hospitals so that they can start changing the sex of children. Let's see. Yeah, they were able to prove that Google changed the election results from the search engines. No one mentioned media that about BRICS and how 60 to 70% of the world's population is now no longer using America as the world reserve currency, because we were supposed to be the world reserve currency and they were supposed to buy their oil with the US dollar, and they're not even paying for the US dollar. They're not even paying for oil in US dollars anymore. America is no longer the world reserve currency, and it's a shame that the media is not reporting that. So yeah, I think those are the main things. She did bring up the fact that, like, Doja Cat, who was the girl taking shots with Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl with the upside down cross, she now has a new video out. She's dressed in a red bodysuit with satanic horns and demon eyes and a tail, and they're making a demon baby in a pod, and that is now trending on Twitter. Remember, Lil Nas did the human blood in the shoes. Remember how they're siding with pedophiles and saying that they are minor attracted persons. And when the systematic justice systems are siding with pedophiles and not children, you know you have a problem. So yeah, she says it's more important now than ever to make your voice heard. Stand up, like, protect God's creation, like, protect your children at all costs. Bestiality and pedophilia goes hand in hand. So protecting your kids at all costs. Let's see. She did go into, like, great detail about the children and what's going on there and what has happened to many of these sex trafficking victims and what they've had to go through. I mean, some have been, like, raped like 5, 10, 20 times a day for 2 years, and most of them don't live longer than 2 years. She said there was a girl that was, like, actually chained to a bed, and that happened to the ones that she was reporting about, and it's just terrible. She said that Pfizer didn't make the D did. So I don't want to get in any trouble here, but yeah, that's what was said. Not only are, like, bad stuff happening on Pornhub, but they're actually using Pornhub to train young children so that they know what they're doing sex-wise. So Pornhub is now becoming like a place to teach children how to learn to service others, which is just horrific. So for me, and she also, called out what our own big bro is doing with the children. And if you want to learn more about that and how our own is doing that, you can look up Tara Rodas from Project Veritas. So she's a very good, credible whistleblower that was also testified in Congress. That's Tara Rodas, Rodas, and she exposed what's really going on at Texas Department of Public Safety. So she also has plans to create a press club, and this was not part of her organization, but it says, Kern says, Lara Logan is a warrior princess. She is a badass woman and fearless. She is such a badass. She really is. I mean, whew, she's very brave. And just sending love and prayers of protection to her and her children and her husband and family. So yeah, she's talking about opening up a press club. So what she'd like to do is open up a private organization, like a private club, and it will be a press club, and it will be somewhere that she can bring in her people, because she's got a lot of people that should be telling their stories, like the guy that was told, like, so like one of the people that she knows from one of her intelligence organizations, the DEA was told to step back and let the cartels take over. So at some points, they're letting the criminals take over. So it's very concerning. She also mentioned that Tennessee outlawed chemtrails, which is something that came out in the news recently in the last couple days. Tennessee has outlawed chemtrails, so hope that every other state follows suit. And the pilots, there's many pilots that break down that the contrails from the planes are not the same as chemtrails, and it's just not the same. So if Tennessee was able to outlaw it, then hopefully other states will follow. But overall, it was very alarmist, and it was very concerning. And like I said, she was there at Mar-a-Lago with Trump and other people and journalists over the weekend, so I don't know what else she found out. But she was very concerned, about our future. And it was a little scary. I really wanted to ask her, like, Lara, like, is there good guys behind the scene? Like, is this a wake-up operation? Because Biden just doesn't look like the same Biden that served with Obama. He just doesn't. It looks like a completely different guy. And, just all this stuff that keeps happening, it seems like it's really exposing a corrupt system, and I don't think that would be happening if somebody wasn't forcing their hand. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff that's coming out, like Biden saying that, today was Transgender Day of Visibility on Easter. Like, he did a proclamation that today, March 31st, was Transgender Day of Visibility. And it's just so horrific. Like, it's just so terrible. They want to talk to us about inclusivity and being accepting of other views, but then they're trying to cancel women. They're trying to cancel mothers and rename them as birth person. And they're trying to cancel Christians by canceling Easter. And they're trying to cancel Jesus and, replace the day with a Transgender Day of Visibility so that we could recognize transgender and totally disregard Jesus and Easter altogether. It's just so absurd. Like, it's never been so absurd before. So prayers that we can trust the plan, and prayers that we are going to see justice, and prayers that Lara will come back and talk to us, because I'd love to talk to her some more. I'd love to hear about, like, why she got into being a journalist and why that's important to her. I'd love to hear if she does believe that there are good guys behind the scenes, and if this is part of a wake-up operation, or if that's just like a side that she doesn't see. So I don't know about all that, and hopefully we can get the chance to talk to her a little more. We'll see. But I hope everybody's doing well. I'm also going to be doing an interview on Friday with the beautiful Carol Maureen Friesen over on Rumble, so I can be sharing that later in the week. But much love to you guys, and let me know what kind of content you want to see. And I think that's everything. But yeah, I think the big shocker was the fact that they knew right away the bridge was cyber terrorism and a cyber attack, and they're not reporting that. I think it's really interesting that Tucker interviewed Hunter Biden, and that's something that will come out. And then also remember that Cliff High confirmed that, like, yes, the intelligence agencies know now that it was a cyber attack that affected the bridge in Baltimore, and that will come out in the media. And then they're going to try to blame Russia. So mark my words, and you heard it here first. The Francis Key Bridge collapse was cyber terrorism, and hopefully that does come out in the media. And I don't know how long it will take them to tell us the truth, because they already know. But hopefully that will happen soon. And don't be surprised if they blame Russia for that. So much love, friends. Hope that's good information for you guys. And we'll just keep holding the light, holding the truth, and embracing our true power. And just trying to rise above all this shitstorm. So love you guys. Hope you're all doing well.